Total Tennis at Tommy and LaFave ends this Sunday. Get door crasher deals on tennis footwear from your favorite brands. Men's, women's, youth. Total Tennis ends Sunday at all Tommy and LaFave stores, including the new Barhaven location.
T&L.com.
Ask the Expert with Scott Watson. I'm going to try this B12. We're going to give this a go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and see what happens. You take 1 milliliter of this every day, yeah. And you may get a little boost in energy in those downtimes.
It can have an effect.
Yeah, B12 is a good one. There's no question about it. All right, I believe we have a couple of questions to deal with. The first one via the Facebook. It's from Melanie. Here's what Melanie has to say. Let's see that. Melanie has a question. I've recently been diagnosed with hypothyroidism and have started taking Synthyroid. Are there any vitamins or natural products that I can take to help me regain some energy that will not interact with my medication? That's a very good question. Yeah. Because you don't want it. The next thing you know, you can start taking something to counteract the side effects, and you're just destroying what the medications do.
So all I'm going to say is that there are a number of products out there that kind of look like these types of products, and they will say, instead of Adrenasense, it'll say Thyrosense or some kind of thyro something. Yes. And generally those products are kind of designed for people that are not taking Synthroid like she's taking. Oh, okay. So they have tyrosine and certain types of amino acids that our thyroid gland uses to produce the thyroid hormones. And if you're already taking Synthroid, you got to be really, really careful. I've seen people who are taking a Synthroid or Eltroxin try some of these products, and all of a sudden they're coming back and they're like, gosh, my heart's pounding, and it's just not a good idea. So be very, very cautious if you want to supplement outside of just like a normal multivitamin. That's probably as much as I would try to do.
Okay, very good. But again, it's one of those situations I urge everybody to do this who has a question for you, to talk to you, to give you a call or drop down and explore it further.
Some of these supplements can be very strong, and
and it depends. I mean, there might be other things that she's taking that you're not aware of, and you need to know. That's why doctors need to know it all to make the proper diagnosis and so on. Yeah. Joan is on the telephone. Hello, Joan. How are you?
Good, thank you. And yourself?
Hello, very good. Thanks for calling. What's your question today?
I have a problem with my lungs. I have COPD. So when I travel, I'm susceptible to lung infections. Okay. My doctor recommended I start taking Florastor before I go away, which might help me with the lung infection. On the instructions inside, it says duration of use, 1 week. I'm just wondering if I can take Florastor all the time.
You know, some people that do. That's funny you say travel, because I see that used a lot for people who are going on extended travels into countries where the food they eat is a little bit different. Right. And Florastor, it is a probiotic. It's a Saccharomyces boulardii, which is an organism that just helps our bodies stave off any kind of intestinal issues, but it also helps our immune system. So that could be very beneficial. I don't see a problem with using that longer than 10 days. Okay. Some people use it for 6 months while they're away from their normal home. So it's something our body can have for an extended period of time without a problem.
Does she need to give her body a break at some point, though?
No.
Not necessarily?
I mean, you could use it as long as you'd like. Some people I've seen who have chronic arthritis or inflammation, they feel better if they take acidophilus or some kind of probiotic every day.
Right. Some people swear by that.
Absolutely.
We did have a question earlier from our friend Ariel, who, by the way, is 92 years old. Yeah. And she had a question about shingles, which I've never experienced it firsthand, but I've seen it, it is awful.
Painful.
And it doesn't, listen, shingles is not what you imagine in your head. It's something completely different. Yeah. But she was talking about a certain specific drug, correct? It's a shingles vaccine?
Shingles vaccine. It's called Zostavax. Yeah. It's made by Merck Frost. And it came out a couple years ago, and we were all excited because we had this chance to prevent shingles. Subsequently became unavailable, and as the whole doctors and pharmacists and patients, we just couldn't get it here in Canada for a long time.
Just on too much demand?
At my pharmacy, the list of people waiting grew to be like almost 300 people just waiting for this vaccine. But the good news is they've been shipping out back orders, so we've been receiving it. In May, I'm told that we can get as much as we need. So hopefully we can get everybody that's been waiting for the shingles vaccine called Zostavax taken care of starting in May. So
yeah, that's good news.
That's great news.
Hopefully that'll help Ariel.
That's right.
Thanks for your telephone call. I know she couldn't stick around to ask a question. That wraps up this edition of Ask the Expert with Scott Watson from Watson's Pharmacy and Wellness Center. There's the address and phone number and website. I urge you folks, for those of you who have questions about this sort of thing, to talk to Scott personally, make contact, and make sure you're doing the right thing. And again, Scott's one of the only compounding pharmacists around, making his own compounds and so on. So, anything can be accomplished, that's for sure. Scott, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Kurt.
Good to see you. I'm going to get on the B12, see how that helps me out.
All right.
We'll be back with more of CTV Morning Live right after this. It's 9:43.
I invite you to make the move to sensational Smiths Falls.
All the benefits of a full-service community with the warmth and heart of a friendly town. Find out more by visiting smithsfalls.ca.
Sensational has never been so affordable.
Remember when a handshake meant more than a signature? When meeting friends took more than just a click of a mouse? Or when you could get quality food at a quality price? Well, we do, because it happens every day. That's why we use 100% Canadian beef in our hamburgers, because we believe that even though things change, some things should stay the same. Enjoy the timeless value and quality of the McDouble, $1.39 every day.